And welcome to the Laptop Empire Show. We've got a great episode for you today. We're going to be talking to you about how to use Facebook to rapidly grow your audience and get more sales. And the content that we've got planned and that you're about to see is fantastic. But why I'm really excited about it is because for the first time, we've invited one of our students to come on the show. So today you're going to meet Rachel Nice, who's one of our students. She came in not with the first wave of our Facebook Side Hustle Course students when we first started Laptop Empires, but she came in with a later wave about a year ago. So she's only been doing this for about a year, but as you're going to see in this interview, she is a pro. She's got it figured out, and she just helped a client that had less than 100 email subscribers and less than 1,000 followers on her social media platforms. She helped this lady get a 400% return on her ad spend for this recent launch. So she helped somebody that had no audience build an audience with Facebook ads and then retarget the audiences they built to get 43 sales in her fitness program. And that might not seem like a lot of sales to you. I know I work with a lot of online fit pros, and some of them do many more sales in their launches. But for somebody that has that small of an audience, this is pretty remarkable. So it's a great story. You're going to learn a lot, but I'm so excited to have one of our students to come on here and share what she's learned and teach. All right. So we're going to dive into it. You're going to hear from Rachel, learn a ton about growing audiences and getting more sales. And if you want to learn more about the Facebook Side Hustle course or Facebook ads for bloggers, she's a student of both courses. If you want to learn more about how to use Facebook ads in your business or as a service provider, just like Rachel, check out the link below in the description. You can learn all the information you want about it, and see you on the other side. Let's dive in. How you doing, Rachel?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm good. I'm really excited. I've been wanting to do this for a while, like have students on the show talk about y'all's wins and what you're doing, and just have not. It's just one of those things when you've got a business, like there's always things on your list that you need to do and you don't get to half of them or more. But you posted in our group the other day, you just had a really big win with an online client in the online fitness space, which we know a lot about. And it was just a great post, and I could see your excitement in the post. I wish that I could show like the beer helmet chugging GIF that you used. It was epic.
Okay, I'm looking at it right now. Okay, because it was a great GIF. It's a dude with the helmet and the beer, two beer cups. There's a guy flipping everybody off behind the beer guy.
I didn't even see that.
I didn't see that until you said that. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's an amazing GIF. That is so good.
So this is cool, just to give a quick overview for the listeners. So Rachel is one of those people in our group that always seems to be having wins and shows up to all of our live trainings and everything, which we really appreciate. But we're always really excited for you, Rachel, because everything seems to be going really well. But this post, she started working with this online fit pro, was helping with her launch, essentially did, with very little audience, less than 1,000 people on social media, about 100 email subscribers, and sold 43 programs for like a 400% ROI or return on ad spend, which is really incredible. I'm sure your client's super happy. So Rachel, why don't you tell us a little bit about this client, and then we'll kind of dive into, some big takeaways that you're going to share with the audience that you learned from doing this.
Yeah, sure. I'd love to. So my client runs an online boot camp, and it's for women who just want to get fit anytime, anywhere. So she's all about making it accessible. And the program is really great. She packed a ton of value into it. She gave them recipes, weekly workouts. There was another trainer that was involved, and they were all put into a support community together. So it was just this really great little community that she's launched organically twice and had really great results. So she took all the feedback from her participants and made it better every time. But for this third launch, she felt like she really wanted to grow. So when we started working together, I was a little bit concerned with the size of her audience as I was trying to get some retargeting just kind of preliminarily set up. I was looking at her website data. She had just installed the Pixel, so we didn't have a lot to go off of. So what I ended up doing was running an engagement campaign for a video ad that I made that just kind of highlighted the program. We ran it to a cold audience, let that audience warm up for a couple of weeks and then use that as part of our retargeting strategy to get all of her followers and all of the people that were in her audience already and those new people that were familiar with her now to opt in and buy her program. And it worked really well. I think what really helped us be successful, though, was she and I worked together. It wasn't just ads. She was doing a ton of organic social media. She was doing email marketing. She really did everything correctly that I was asking her to do and just brought all the pieces together.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's essential. So a lot of you that are listening probably know my story already, but I started with an online fitness business and then have since then worked with a lot of online fit pros. And there's so much more to it than just running ads. And this is true of any online business, but really with the fitness space, there's so many options out there and you have to build so much trust to be able to be successful. And so it takes that organic approach. It takes having a good community. It takes, all of the things that you mentioned, doing the organic and the email and all of that in addition to ads. And really the people that get that, and this goes to any online business, but especially in fitness, the people that get that do well. And the people that think they're just going to spend money and crush it are usually the ones that crash and burn. So I thought that's really a great thing for you to point out there. Before we dive in it, I want to say something real quick because I was listening to you talk and you sound like a pro. So I want you to tell the audience, like, how long have you been doing this? Let them know, like, when did you start? How long have you been doing Facebook ads? Because you're talking about retargeting, all this advanced stuff.
Yeah. So I signed up for the Facebook side hustle last summer after thinking about it forever. And then I just bought Facebook ads for bloggers, I think during your last launch. Mm-hmm. So this was I've done online stuff before as far as, my own business. I have a separate online business, so I'm not terribly unfamiliar with that. But I think really putting both of those pieces together helped me be successful of learning ads. And it's complicated, but I feel like anybody can learn how to do this. I mean, really, it's totally possible.
We feel the same way. It's funny. You mentioned that you thought about the Facebook side hustle for a long time before you bought it. And I think it kind of goes back to this whole thing that we're talking about, where it all kind of works together, the social media and the website content. And, people that put all of those pieces together tend to do really well. And what we even see from some of our tracking, people will basically hit 8 different touch points sometimes before they end up buying a course from us during a launch. Like they'll read 3 emails on Millennial Money Man, and then they'll go over and read, 4 emails from Laptop Empires and go visit a blog post. And then we'll launch a course, and then people will come in and buy it. So it sounds kind of like a similar thing happened with your client, where you got people into the environment, and then she warmed them up slowly over time. And then the two of you worked together to get a bunch of sales. So it's just such a huge thing that people don't realize. They think they can just run ads and print money.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, and the interesting thing with the purchases is we set up ClickFunnels. So we had the whole funnel going there, all the retargeting to the various levels of the funnel. But really, half of her sales ended up coming off of her website. Mm-hmm. So even though people were seeing the ads and seeing the organic social posts and all that, they had to think about it for a little while. And then when they decided, yes, I want to do this, they might not have known where to go because it was, a whole separate funnel with ClickFunnels, but they knew where her website was.
Right.
And they easily accessed it there. They were able to purchase. And I actually didn't know that. I mean, I knew she had it set up on her website, but I couldn't track those sales as easily. Mm-hmm. And when I first put up the ads, we'd only gotten 3 purchases, and I was a little discouraged, like, man, I'm not doing this right. What's going on?
Yeah.
Watch targeting videos again. But I emailed her, and she was like, actually, we have 24 sales already. And I was like, what? And she goes, yeah, they're from my website. And I was like, oh, okay, well then we can do this. Let's keep going. So
yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
That's awesome. And it all builds on each other. And, you're not going to have, like we've learned through the headaches of our trying to track stuff. Like a lot of times Facebook's not going to attribute a lot of that, but it's like you said, they see it, they think about it, and then they go and they come back, and that's like all the time. Sometimes we'll have, we'll see somebody sees an ad, and even if the ad gets credit, it's like they bought from somewhere on the website, not through the ad funnel. And so it's like, wait, you have a sale attributed to the ad, but not using that cart, and so it can be very confusing, but that's
that's really how this stuff works. Is there's this big free flow of people going to all kinds of different places, going to your YouTube channel, going to your website, going to the podcast, going to your emails, checking everything out and thinking about it and trying to make a decision, talking to their spouse and all these kind of things. So that's a great thing to point out. Your strategy, you said you were concerned she didn't have much of an audience. And I think this is the big thing. She didn't have much of an audience. So you decided to create audience, and you leveraged video and you leveraged retargeting. So can you tell us a little bit about the strategy y'all developed, like specifically with the ads? You know, how long were you running them? What were you running? How much were you spending? You know, and then for the retargeting, you know, what was kind of the budget and all that kind of breakdown there? Can you break that whole thing down for us?
Yeah. So with the video, she contacted me about 6 weeks before she was ready to launch, which I felt like it was a good amount of time. So, but I knew she needed a bigger audience. So we created this video. We ran an engagement campaign to a cold audience of women who are interested in fitness. And the copy was really focused on the benefits of the program. So it was all about, here's what you're going to get if you join the program. We're super excited to get this started, but it wasn't like, oh, tap here to save your spot, because we really just wanted them to see the ad and really engage with it. So we were trying to make it as exciting as possible to click and watch the video. And we were getting between 2 to 3 cent engagements for quite a while. And it was great. So we built that audience up to several thousand people. When I was ready to do the retargeting, which looking back, I probably could have started somewhat sooner, just doing maybe another level of getting them back to a blog post or another piece of content. But I was a little nervous about it, so I was trying to keep it super simple. When we were ready to launch the sales funnel ads, I combined that audience, the video audience, with her website viewers and anybody who had engaged with her page for the past, I think I set it for 60 days, which I was hoping wasn't too long, but long enough that anybody who saw the ad would also be included in that. So it was just getting as many people into that audience as possible. And it was a smaller audience, so the ads were getting really tired, I guess is the right word, like where the frequency was starting to go up really quickly and the cost was starting to go up really quickly. So we ended up doing like 3 different launches of the same ads, like adapting the copy and changing up the headlines. So it was like, okay, we'll put this one ad up, run it for a day, see how many purchases we get. Once it starts going down, we'll change it up. And I think I did 19 different ads throughout the whole thing, just trying to make sure that people were seeing fresh new ads.
That's great. And there's some really good things to point out there, like your audiences. You did the video, you know, were you doing what was the custom audience? It was like 25% views, 50% views, 10-second views.
It was 10 seconds.
10 seconds. So that's good. So you were using 10-second views. We always use 10-second or 25%, depending on the length of the video. And then you use your website audience and use your page engagement. Those are the 3 audiences we use for our retargeting as well. So like you totally nailed it there. And then I love that, like the way that you're talking about changing the copy, you have to do that with smaller audience because of ad fatigue, exactly like you mentioned. And so, you know, you said you were changing copy, headlines, I'm guessing images, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Trying to keep it fresh.
What I was doing, actually, one thing as I was preparing to write the copy for this, I really looked at her organic social posts to kind of see what was resonating with her audience, because since we were running the ads, the retargeting ads were only going to her audience. I really looked to see how she worded things, what types of posts her followers were engaging with organically, what types of headlines were drawing them in. And we actually used a lot of the copy from one of her posts that got a huge amount of engagement as part of our copy on the sales page. And then I also included that in the ad. But I was trying to make all of the ads for our retargeting sound like she wrote them and sound just like an organic post that they would just see on their newsfeed. So that took a little bit of digging into and just trying to figure out what would work. But I think that actually worked really well, because then people weren't seeing this weird post from her that didn't sound like her. It just was another time she was popping in their newsfeed.
I think that's really smart. And I mean, that's something that we do from time to time when we work with affiliates and we're trying to put together kind of like templates for them and things like that. Or, actually when Chris Orzechowski worked with us on the first Facebook Side Hustle launch, he was the copywriter for all the emails, and he went back through, God, I don't even know how much of my stuff. I mean, he studied my voice and all of that stuff so we can kind of work together on the emails and put it together. And I think when you do that extra step, you have more success than just, writing random copy that people aren't going to relate to. So it's freaking awesome. Like, it sounds like you've been doing this for like a really long time.
No, it's awesome. I think another thing that was really interesting, you were talking about the video, and you said like the video was about the program, but it wasn't pushy, it wasn't salesy, it was like about the benefits and everything. So what can you tell us, or I'm sorry, you were talking about the copy with the video. So can you tell us a little bit more about that ad? Like, what was the copy like? What was the video about? Because I think this is really important. And what it sounds like you did was you weren't just putting random content out there to build audiences. You had a very strategic single video that you were using to build audience and really pre-frame the sale. So can you really break that down for us? Because I think this is going to be great.
Absolutely. So she kind of went through, talked to me a lot about the program, what they were going to do, and what they were offering. So I knew that it was a solid offer to begin with. I knew it was already kind of selling itself. But what I wanted to do with that copy is just kind of take it to a new audience and say, hey, I don't know if you've ever heard about this program, but this is what we're launching. We're launching this in a couple of weeks. We are going to include all of these things. If you're ready to feel fit, if you're ready to, have this supportive community, we can't wait to do this with you. And I just broke all of the benefits down. I used emojis and all that stuff. But I think really for me, it was just trying to get in their heads as to what the benefits were for them that they might not have even realized they needed. So working out anytime, anywhere. Everybody's busy. Everybody doesn't, nobody has time to work out, but with these workouts, you can do it whenever you want. Along with that, you get a community and you get all of this for less than $3 a day, so it was just kind of breaking all those benefits down, making it accessible. And then when I ran the first retargeting ad, I used a bunch of that copy. So it was, hey, remember that program we talked to you about a couple weeks ago or a couple days ago? It's open now. Remember, you're going to get all of these things. You should sign up to join. So it kept it in their heads that it was, oh, this is the same program we've heard about before, but now it's open. I should jump on it.
What was the video like? Like, what was the content of the video? Because you're talking about the copy, I believe.
Yeah. So for the video, we didn't really have a lot of actual video. I was really hoping to show her working out with other people or in the program, but it's also online. So I felt like using any kind of group workouts or group images or group video wouldn't have worked well. So what I ended up doing was putting a lot of images together of her and the other trainer, and then a lot of, I don't know what the correct term is, but like still shots with like words on them, like
a text overlay.
The text overlay. So that way it was like you get a community, and then it was a picture of her smiling and excited to work with you, and then you get nutrition help, and then there was a picture of her with a recipe or something. So it was very short, quick sequences that kind of gave them an overview of what all they were going to get with the program. And I put music to the background. It was all branded. It looked like it came right from her website with her colors and logos and all that stuff. So it was, I don't know if it was the best video, honestly, but it was what I had. So we ran with it, and it seemed to do pretty well.
So it was more of like an image slideshow for the video. Okay. Not like recorded her talking about program or anything. Okay.
We were going to do that, and she sent me a couple of videos, and she was struggling to I guess sound relatable on video. She was really nervous about it, which I totally understand. So we ended up not using that for the initial ad, but we did incorporate video of her talking to her audience for one of our retargeting campaigns for the actual purchases. And that worked out a little bit better because people knew who she was at that point. And she also moved cross country while we were in the middle of all this. So we just kind of had to go with what we had. And it seemed to work really well because then I feel like people could kind of get an introduction to the program without really needing to listen to her talk too much. They could kind of get a quick overview with pictures and get a really quick snapshot of it.
Okay, so I've got a question for you just before we go and as we're kind of wrapping this up. So what was the biggest thing that you learned from this whole launch? Like out of everything, it sounds like it, obviously went really well. You tried a lot of new things that you probably hadn't done before, but it worked. So what was the big thing that you got from all of this?
I think my biggest takeaway from it is just realizing that a funnel is more than just a sales page and an order form and a thank you page. Your funnel really is everything you're doing in your business to get people who don't know you to like you, trust you, and buy from you. Yeah. So that's email marketing, that's organic social, that's your blog content, that's your entire web presence should all be directing people to trust you and then buy what you're offering, but only if that actually solves a problem that they have. Right. So you have to both understand that you can't just throw up a ClickFunnels funnel and make money. You really have to know your audience, build that trust, and sell a product that's going to serve people.
Yeah, no, that's huge. And that's one of those things, we've always felt really good about the products that we sell because we really believe in them. And it's so much easier when you have something that actually helps people. Like you feel good about selling it. It's easier, right? Like you actually get people results. Like there are going to be people that take the course that might have, this, what you sold. They're going to be people that bought this thing and are going to have their lives changed, hopefully. And as the advertiser, like you play a part in that. So I always think that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It was pretty cool to see, all the different people that were coming in. And I think it's easy, when you're running ads to get caught up in the data of your ads manager of here's my click-through rate, here's my CPM. But at the end of the day, those are real people and they're moms, dads, they're trying to pay for groceries, they're trying to pay for soccer practices, they have bills and lives. And I think, whether you are a course creator or an advertiser, you have to respect that and remember that everything you're doing needs to be done with integrity and remember that those are people that you're trying to sell something to.
You sound like you've been doing for like years.
I was just thinking, I was
like, I'm very impressed. Like, I mean, we know you from, conversations. You're regularly on our live trainings and stuff. And so I feel like we've gotten to know you, more so than maybe some other students that don't attend those kind of things. But like, I'm just blown away because you sound like you've been doing this as long as we have. Like, and I'm really, it makes me really happy and you're doing well and you're going to freaking crush it. So, yeah, that's awesome. Ladies and gents, if you're listening to this, I mean, just like go back and listen to this again because everything that Rachel's been sharing is just spot on. And I think you covered a lot today of like the things beyond the technical how to, and that's really where the magic happens. So,
some people never figure that stuff
awesome.
Out. Yeah. Some people never really see the bigger picture. They get stuck in the minutia. So I'm very proud. I don't know if you got all this stuff from us, but I'm just going to assume that hopefully you did, but it's freaking awesome.
All these warm fuzzies. Yeah. I've got one more question for you before we wrap this up. Like you said, you've been doing this for about a year. So what advice do you have for the people that are going to listen to this that have been following us and they're interested in getting into this, or they're just starting out and they're doing the same thing, that we are and going like, wow, she's knows what's up and she's got this figured out. Like, what advice do you have for them? Because I know, and maybe you can remember this, there's going to be people that are going to be like, oh, I don't know that I can ever get there.
Well, I think the biggest thing is to just start and to not give up. I mean, I bought the course last summer and it took me months to get my first client. And it was kind of hard. And I still don't know, like, I don't know everything and I don't know what I'm doing some of the times. I think I watched that.
We don't either sometimes.
I literally watched that how to structure your course launch ads section in the course like 6 times. I'm not even kidding.
No.
Just going, what am I supposed to, okay, all right, we'll try that. Well, so you don't know everything. And if you wait until you know everything, you'll never get started. And I think that that's the biggest hurdle that I've seen any online entrepreneur try is they get scared. And I get it, but you have to just do it. Just try.
Thank you so much for watching today's episode of the Laptop Empire Show. I hope you enjoyed this interview with Rachel as much as I did. I gotta say, when I was in the interview itself, I was just blown away by her, right? I've talked to her many times. She comes to all of our live trainings. I've seen her success inside of the course. And so when I heard this story, I knew that she was going to put on a good interview, but I was truly blown away at the depth of her knowledge and how well versed she is in Facebook marketing, having only been in the industry for a year. So really loved that. I'm glad that we got to see this other perspective and she got to share those experiences. Hopefully it gives you, if you have a business and you're doing Facebook marketing, even if you have a small audience, hopefully it gives you hope that you can get results as well. Or if you're trying to break into this and you want to learn how to do this, hopefully seeing her success will make you feel like, okay, I can do this. I can get clients. I can make money online doing these kind of things. If you don't know where to start, you want to learn, just go into the description, check out the Facebook Side Hustle course. That's the place to start if you want to start earning money providing Facebook ad services to your clients. If you want to know more about the kind of like online marketing and some of the more advanced Facebook type stuff, we've got this other course, Facebook Ads for Bloggers. It's not really just for bloggers. It's for anybody that has an online business, promotes online courses like we do, anything like that. But that's the other course that Rachel took that she mentioned. You can find out information about both of those in the description. And that's really it for today. We really appreciate it. Please do me a favor, subscribe to our channel. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to the channel and turn on notifications because we don't want you to miss any new episodes. We've got new episodes coming out every Tuesday. If you check back in the evening on Tuesdays, you're going to see new content. We've always got great stuff planned for you. And we just really appreciate you supporting our channel by watching our videos, sharing them, commenting, and everything you do. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful week. See you next time.